G'day. Have you ever been to a game, like a basketball game or soccer game or team sports game, where you're attending and you have got a camera and you're there filming away because you want to either watch the actual later on, or you're really filming your son or daughter or your actual friends, and you really can't really watch the action as you're just watching it through your camera most of the time? Well, welcome to the XBotGo Chameleon. Now, this here is what you have, is what they call an AI sports cameraman. So basically, you actually put your phone or camera and it will take care of the rest. It will track the actual ball or player, and then it actually starts recording and it will just track it and just keep it in frame. Wow, that means you can actually enjoy the moment of that game. How good is that? Now, there are plenty of instructions on how to actually operate this, but this is just going to be a quick review. Now, XBotGo do also make a Gimbal version, something very similar to like this, but this here is the Chameleon. So what's the difference there is that it's actually got a camera built in. Now this camera is more designed for tracking, more wider tracking compared to your gimbal. You still do need to have your mobile phone connected to it, and like I said, it pretty much just hops onto the top here. You then screw all on so it keeps it in place. Download the app itself and then it will then do recording and track away. Now that does have support for a number of sports like basketball, soccer, and so on and so on. Now I actually don't do any of those sports itself. My sport that I actually attend and do is wushu. Now it does not support wushu, so I actually tried something out which is out of its scope of what it can do, which is just using it for tracking. Now, why, for my experience and also play with it, it was a bit off. It had some good moments and it had some bad moments. Now the good moments was when it did track, it was absolute fantastic. It tracked me very well, and also my friends and also the people in who do wushu with me. It tracked it very nice. It decides to zoom in, zoom out, and it did fantastic in some situations. And what I found was that times when it sees mirrors, it didn't like that. Of course, that's not very surprising because you can get yourself confused when it's like, oh, there's W, who do I track? And with very fast motion that goes towards the camera, it didn't like that. But once it comes back into frame, it actually comes and then tracks again. Fantastic. So it does pick it up. Now, people are very similar in things, and tracking wise, it will then randomly jump to the closest thing and then track away at that. So there we go. I would say give it around about 60% of the times it will track very well, and then the other 40 times it just randomly stops tracking. But it'll be nice, you can actually override it by just going straight to wide and then hopefully be able to actually track another person. Unfortunately, you can't do that. Now I also do in my wushu is Tai Chi. Now with Tai Chi, we do a lot of open hands. Now to actually initiate it, it is hand gesture based, where you can just put your hands up and then it starts recording. Put your hand back up again like this and it will stop recording. Now you can't turn that feature off with the Chameleon. That's one of the things I'll probably suggest for them to actually maybe add in, where you can actually disable that hand gesture function. Would be absolutely fantastic for tracking. Now as for the sports wise, I actually tried it out by actually just going to a local basketball court and then played some basketball, and it did pretty well. It really tracked the ball regardless of whether it went behind things as it tracks away. Now this is a test of me playing basketball. Now I'm going to actually start this off. I'm going to go into record mode. I've chosen basketball and I'm going to go over 14 and half court. I start recording. I'm going to skip the tutorial about it. Now to hopefully be able to track me, I'm going to use the remote to start it off. You'll hear the beep from it and we'll start it off. So let's have a look. So it's now hopefully recording me, and we'll just do this go through here. So oh, here we go. Oh, hopefully it's tracking me. They can see. Whoop. I'm not a very good basketball player. It's been a number of years since I played, so
definitely. Let's have a look. We can go to a 3-point here. It's actually choosing. Oh, I'm way off there, didn't I? So that's nice to see. I can see it tracking. It's tracking me well. Whoa. Whoop. Like I said, in a few years. Nice. Now I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm actually going to try from the side of the recording to see how that goes instead of on the cord itself. So I'll just start it off very soon. I'm just going to use my remote to start it off. So I hear the beep. I know it's tracking me. Again, it seems to be tracking the ball itself. So I'll just roll the ball. And I'm still standing here. The ball's moving that way. So is it tracking me or tracking the ball? We don't know. Or it's just tracking myself. So we'll see how that's running. Yep, it's tracking something. So it's a bit of delay. So let's have a look. Oof. Ooh. All right, let's go over back this side. See if it tracked me to the 3 points. Probably gonna miss. Wee. Whoa. Going from half court, and we've got to go for a layup.
Now the fact that it actually tracked the ball and stayed with the ball, fantastic. And when it does lose the ball, which has happened when I was testing it out, it actually stayed there, waited to see the ball in place, comes back in, and it tracked that back again. So that's fantastic. Now that is probably one of the advantages of the Chameleon compared to the gimbal version, that actual tracking is done on this wide angle camera, and also all the processing is done inside this Chameleon. Now I do know it's got jersey numbers. I haven't really tried that out, as most of the sports I haven't really played that have jersey numbers. There are a few suggestions for improvement for the next iteration of this Chameleon. Now what I would like to see would be another lens of that, because since that other lens is already being used by the AI tracking, it'd be nice to add another lens or reuse this lens here and use it to record. Have an SD card on this, either a micro SD card or SD card, and then it will do recording on this device with having to actually need to record on your phone itself. So I don't mind having the phone there. It will actually use as an interface for the display just to keep the cost down, but at least be able to record to an SD card so I don't have to use the phone internal memory or SD, as I don't have very much memory. So I am very limited by how much I can record on this, as I'm nearly out of space. So that's a problem that can be solved by having a built-in SD card in the Chameleon. Now, besides having a built-in SD card, that would probably mean that you can actually record in 4K. Now that currently isn't possible with the current setup and the app itself. It only can do 1080p. That's its maximum. Having built-in onboard SD card to record would actually set the Chameleon apart from the gimbal version. So I think that will be absolutely fantastic. Now another improvement I'd like to see is also this little holder here. Now I am currently got a case on, and it's actually quite a thin case. I wouldn't call this a thick case. It's probably on the thinner side. I've got some thicker ones, and this will just barely fit it in, and I will just pretty much give it like 2 knobs and it's already tightened. So most of the time you'll probably either have to have your phone naked if you've got a thick case. So this would be probably an improvement, is to add in some just a little bit more wider for the phone holder would be fantastic. But to have it really ultimate would actually have a built-in screen, like even a small touch screen, so you can actually not deal with the phone at all completely. That would be really, really cool. And just tap the phone just to do the plays or something like that. That would be awesome, just as an optional thing. That way you can actually free your phone, so you can actually either text or even just do other stuff, or even add extra recording for special moments. That would be absolutely fantastic. So you can actually have this as a standalone unit. As my final thoughts for the XBotGo Chameleon, for the sports that it has been trained and support, it is absolutely fantastic. The fact that you can just put it up, set it up, and then let it track and record. And you can also live stream this as well on Facebook if you wanted to, for those who can't attend the game. That is absolutely really nice, so you yourself who's present in the real world can actually enjoy the game in person, not looking through this small little screen. I think that itself is fantastic to do, and really a wonderful little extra device to have along with your soccer game, basketball game, whatever games, team sport games that have. This is absolutely fantastic, having a third cameraman there ready to go that you don't have to like babysit, as it does a pretty decent job at that. Now, as for tracking wise, for just normal person tracking, that probably just needs a little bit. I wouldn't say I can trust it all the way through, as it did fell over quite a number of times when I was doing competition tracking, and also what I do was wushu as well. So overall, it did a really good job, though there are suggestions that could be definitely improve on it and also separate it more from its gimbal version, but still it's a great product to have. And I hope you find this video informative, enjoyed it. If you did, even support my channel, smash that like button for me, share this video, it does help me out. And as always, imperfections in life makes it beautiful and interesting. And I'll see you next video.